to do graph. I'll record this and I'll send this to you as well. So whenever you do a graph, the most important thing is to first analyze it and see what are the most important things. Like for example, if you read the question, it says that the participation in science and technology. The charts below show the levels of participation in education and science in developing and industrialized countries in 1980 and 1990. So let me look at the graph. What exactly are they talking about? If I look at the headings, average years in schooling. So
Yeah.
the number of years spent in schooling in 80 and 90. So the gray graph is developing countries and the dark graph is industrialized countries. And there is a comparison between number of years spent. So in 80 and 90, as I see, the number of years have increased for both the types of countries. And developing countries spend less time in school, developed countries spend more by industrialized countries spend more time in school. I mean the children. So that's about the first graph. The second one talks about scientists and technicians per thousand people. So this is like what is the average population? What is the proportion of scientists in the countries? So again, both of the countries it has increased, but the increase in industrialized nations is is substantial, is
Right.
quite impressive as compared to the developing countries. Number of scientists have risen quite um, exponentially, we can say here. I mean, it has been more impressive than the previous one, or more dramatic or drastic change. You can use these kind of adjectives. But yeah, this one is like the most. This is contrary to what we see here. So what is it? Spending on research and
Spending.
development.
Yeah.
So actually, the spending has decreased in developing countries on research and development, whereas it has increased here. So this is
Right.
pretty much the case, and you don't have to, kind of.
But then when you start, you have to summarize what the three charts are talking about.
Yeah,
Like, how
yeah,
do you say that? But all three charts are describing something different. So
yeah, yeah.
figure out that what is it that it
So
is.
for that, you can take help of the question. The charts below show levels of participation in education and science.
So I have
So
to paraphrase it somehow, right?
yeah, the three bar
So
charts shown below show display. So instead of show, you can say display or reveal or depict the levels of involvement in education and science, shows a comparison of developing and industrialized countries with regard to participation in education and science by comparing average number of schooling years of schooling and proportion of population in scientific fields and expenditure on R&D, on research and development. So you like this, you can
like
paraphrase it.
specify all three things as headings. Like this is
Yeah,
this and this.
yes. Overall, we can see that there is an increasing trend from 1980 to 1990, except for the expenditure on research and development by the developing countries. And then you can
Okay.
talk about each of the graphs one by one.
Okay. So then the first graph shows, then
Yeah,
second one, and then the last graph
yeah.
for
And
you.
for each of them, just write like 20 to 30 words. That would be enough.
Right. Right.
Or maybe 40 words, because 40 into 3 will make it 120, and introduction and overall picture will make it 150.
Okay.
So like this, you can. So it is very important that you do this kind of brainstorming before
Yeah.
writing about the essay, because
Yes, sir.
this
Yes, sir.
gives you the basic idea of what is supposed to be written. And then there is an answer given here. So you can read the answer and rewrite this one itself. I think this exercise would be of great help,
Yes.
where we just go through these essays one by one, knowing about how information is compared and how is it drafted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now again, look at this. This is again a very unique. It's a unique graph. It's not something very common. Look at this. What would you write on this one? Yeah. So if you look at this, how will you analyze and what will you write? If you can just make some pointers, and then we can discuss about it. Yes. Have you made some points?
Yeah.
Yes. So you can tell me now.
So the chart below illustrates uh, uh, a comparative analysis between the average house prices in 5 different cities between 1990 and 2002
Hmm.
in comparison with house prices in the year 1989.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then the overall picture would be that we can see that also there are different countries mentioned. So like it
Hmm.
can be income like so and so years of
Hmm.
different countries, I think. And so we we're comparing the percentage cities from 1999 prices. So like those are the changes that have happened. Tokyo. So Tokyo is the main highlight,
Mhm.
and whereas yeah, so Tokyo is the main highlight. Rest of them have also increased
Why Tokyo is the main highlight?
because the percentage change.
You mean to say London?
I think London. I guess London then.
Yeah,
Last
because
one, the one with the biggest.
yeah.
That one is the main highlight. Rest of them have also gone up while like
Hmm.
when New York was down.
Hmm.
New York
Hmm.
has also made a comeback. Rest,
Hmm.
while Madrid has increased from where it last was,
Hmm.
and Frankfurt has made like minuscule, like small, or like
Hmm. Hmm.
but has made some sort of difference from what we.
Yeah.
But then Tokyo, I think, hasn't managed to catch up because it's still in the minus, but
Hmm.
not it's at the it was below -5.
Hmm.
But it stands at -5.
Hmm. 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 So I think yeah, you are pretty much
So, but then
you're
how
correct.
do we? But so that's the analysis. Then
Yeah, so what you can say is
how
overall
do
we
you
can see
divide
that.
the
Yeah, so first of
paragraphs?
all, start with the overall picture. Overall, we can see that of the 5 countries, four have shown a positive trend, positive movement between the first cycle and the second cycle.
Four of them have shown a positive move towards a positive trend.
Yeah, move toward the positive side, except for Frankfurt, where the real estate prices have actually gone down. For rest of the countries, it has gone up. And when we compare it with the base year, uh,
This is still
all
an
the all
overall.
the four countries like New York, Madrid, Tokyo, and London.
Yeah,
New York, Madrid, yeah, actually, pretty much Tokyo and London were above the base price of 89. It was only Frankfurt which was below the baseline in 2002. So there has been a positive shift in property prices uh, in 4 out of 5 countries with with when we compare it with 89. And yeah, as you can, so basically Tokyo is definitely the highlight. The London is definitely the highlight. So basically, whenever we are making such comparisons, you can think about positive change, negative change, and no change. So positive change is in all the 4 countries out of 5, right?
yeah, right, yeah,
And the most dramatic one was in London. So you'll start with London,
yeah.
then you will talk about New York, then you will talk about pretty much Madrid, and then the last one, which is no, third one, yeah, Tokyo, and then the fifth one, which is so basically, since all four are positive and only one is negative, so you'll talk about all four first, and then in the last you will in the end you will talk about Frankfurt. This is how the answer is. You can read the answer that will give you an idea.
So you divided it according to phases, it says. Like in the first phase.
Yeah.
Like how do like that's what my confusion was. Ki, like since the 1995, like how do like I understand the graph,
Mm.
but
Mm.
how do I go about dividing the paragraphs? Like if it like so like you say interestingly in the first phase, so you started with only looking at 1999,
Yeah. Yeah.
comparing that and then taking 1996 and 2002.
So whenever you have got these kind of graphs, first talk about the first phase without looking at the second phase. And in the second
Right,
paragraph, when you talk about the second phase, you can make comparisons also.
right, right, right.
So that keeps you very sorted. Otherwise,
Yeah,
the whole thing gets mixed up. So you can see interestingly in the first phase, 3 of the 5 countries witnessed a dip as compared to the base. So 3 of the 5 countries are showing a dip. Noticeably, Tokyo and London showed similar trends. So Tokyo and London, both of them were almost equal, no? With the prices dipping around 8%. Similarly, New York also registered 5% dip. However, property prices in Frankfurt and Madrid demonstrated a little spurt of less than. So, you know, it talks about the 3 countries which have registered less, and then talking about the second phase. On the contrary, the second phase represented a period of positive growth. So here, since most of them are above the baseline, we are saying that it's a phase of positive growth, with 4 of the 5 countries showing prices higher than. So like this, you can divide it. So even if you read the way we are reading all these uh, graphs once, and you write like 4, 5 of them, you'll have a very clear idea of how to talk about these kind of graphs.
yeah, okay, sir. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So what I want you to do is probably you can just go through these graphs the way we are doing right now,
Yeah,
rewrite them and send 4, 5 of them. So we'll go through them
okay.
together, and that will pretty much make you ready to write on any type of graph. See, the comparisons are going to remain the same. Whenever you look at any 2 cycles, think about it in this way. Which points or which data points have increased, which data points have decreased, which data points have remained constant. So talk about those who have increased first, talk about those who have decreased first, talk about those who have who remain constant at the end, or which remain constant at the end. And yeah, pick the ones which showed the most dramatic change, moving in that direction,
The
in that order.
highlights, the highlights.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much, that's the principal thing. And yeah, you can do it. Why don't you write one or two essays in the graphs in the same way and send them to me?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you do this and then we'll take it forward. Tomorrow is there, right? Write a
Yes,
graph
sir.
and an essay and
Tomorrow's there.
yeah.
Huh? Sorry, sir.
Tomorrow we have, right? Day after tomorrow is your
Yes, sir.
exam.
We do. We do. We do.
So please write and send it to me and we'll check it together tomorrow then.
Okay, sir.